Oh, good morning, everyone. Today was definitely the hardest day to wake up. My eyes hurt. I just didn't want to get out of bed. I barely heard my alarm. I definitely have to get going to bed earlier. I have to pull a Benjamin Franklin and go early to bed and early to rise. Makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. But right now I'm just early rising and not really early to bed. I think there's probably a learning curve with trying to get up earlier and doing this kind of shit. And I'm probably in the most painful part right now. I just need to get to bed a little earlier and I think I'll be okay. I'm about to do my workout. I'm doing legs today. So I'll probably really be tired tomorrow. Who knows? Or maybe I'll just pass out really early tonight after being so tired right now and then doing legs today. I'll just out at like 9:30 or something like that. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna get lifting, pump some iron, and do some shit like that. Jelly legs! Alright guys, worked out. I'm gonna go upstairs. Last night I was fucking around with the lumbar. I was looking at it. Mostly just taking a screenshot, honestly, for the thumbnail last night, and I refreshed part of it so the way it works when there's a linked in part, if you change that part that's linked into a new file, you hit refresh and you refresh it. And for whatever reason, the part was so complicated, and I was also doing like some auxiliary. I think I was exporting my video at the same time, so the graphics processing on my computer was already being kind of taxed. But anyway, the thing like broke. It got all fucked up. I had to fortunately I was able to just undo it. And then after my computer wasn't doing anything else when I did it, it turned out alright. But if you remember me talking about it, I'm worried about it being too complicated and it not being able to do it, especially as I move down the arm and having all that stuff up above it, because I'm going to build the shoulder girdle off the torso and the arm off the shoulder girdle and the forearm off the arm and the hand off the forearm. So in theory, all those parts are going to be in the last part, which is the hand, and the same kind of thing all the way down to the foot on the leg. So that's could be a problem if the parts are too complicated. So what I have as an idea is I haven't actually tried this yet, and it's something I need to try, and it's something I'm gonna do today. But I need to try seeing if I can delete parts from the old components. Like when I bring in the torso, can I delete pretty much everything of the torso? And what I was thinking, if I could literally just have one sketch from the that original design and then just pull the first part off of that and literally have no components, just sketches from the first design. I don't know if I can do that. So that's one thing I want to try, I want to experiment with. I'm not going to do it on the lumbar because I was just having so many issues with that. I don't know if that's going to work. If it works well, maybe I'll do it and then see if it works, and then I guess I could undo it, so maybe I will. The problem is there's some stuff I want to change in order to really get this thing. So what I really want to do is this thing to actually possibly be buildable. So if I do that, I need to adjust a couple of things on the torso, and I'm worried about that breaking the lumbar once it goes downstream. And then I might even change some stuff up. So I need to change the bottom joint because they're a little bit too close together. They don't match the hip perfectly. And since I made them all out of the same part, I have to do that. So I need to do that. But I want to do it without breaking the lumbar. And then also coming up, I might change the type of joint on the neck as well. So I want to do both those things without breaking the lumbar downstream. Because if not, I'd have to do the lumbar. I have to do it attempt 3 on the lumbar, and maybe even do the pelvis. The pelvis is really actually kind of getting fucked up too, because that was just attempt 1, and it's a really complicated part. It's a lot of parts in it, and I think that's also where some of the issues are coming from. The torso actually came out pretty good because that was the 4th attempt of that one I did, so that one I kind of just did it all at once. I knew what I was doing. The pelvis I was figuring it out as I go, and it's a little bit more dirty of a part. There's a couple of sketches in there that won't compute right, even though the entire part is it feels like I'm trying to hold together tissue paper in the rain. That's what it feels like I'm doing with this shit. So anyway, I need to fuck with that and play with that a little bit. Anyway, I'm gonna go on a walk right now. Friend's waiting for me outside. I'm gonna go walk and then I'll come back and do that shit. All right, guys, I just finished that walk, drank some coffee. I may be hanging out with her again later tonight, so I'm gonna go get some work done right now. I need to get a couple things done at least before that. So I'm gonna go put in like at least a couple hours of really focused work and try to get some stuff done on this and see what I can't figure out. Hopefully, unless I get stuck, and then I'm gonna have to sit there and think about it. And then I also have a poster thing I'm trying to build, which I am just gonna hint at right now, and then I'll show you what I'm doing with that later and explain what I'm doing with that. Let's go crush it, guys. All right, so there's no way to do that. I tried very hard to figure out a way to delete the components, because it's annoying, because all I need is one component that I need to build off of. The other thing I thought about is I could just build those components, which is potentially an option. But that would work on like going from the neck up and going from, I don't even think that'll work, honestly. I don't know, I'm a little worried because hopefully the lumbar was just happening because I tried to do that thing while I was also trying to exit when it started to break on me. Hopefully the reason that happened is just because I was also trying to like export video at the same time, which was just too much for my computer to handle. So hopefully that's all it was, and hopefully I'll be all right with this. But there's a chance it might not. So I don't know. If it doesn't, we're gonna have to go to a very archaic way of doing it, and I'm gonna have to do it perfectly, which is scary. That means draft 3. I would doubt my ability to finish draft 3 without being able to change anything. I mean, I would literally have to go through the entire thing perfectly. I mean, it would make me into an expert for sure, but it may end up taking fucking 1,000 years to get it done. So I don't know. I don't know what the best way to do this is. I wish there was another way to do it. I wish Fusion 360, I wish there was a way to just import part of the thing. I don't want to bring in the entire assembly. I just want to bring in like 1 or 2 parts out of that assembly into it and still have them linked, but that way it'd be much simpler because it wouldn't be all the rest of the parts. That's what I want to do. Maybe it's because Fusion 360 can't do that. Maybe it needs all the other parts. Maybe they're all linked together in those parts and it needs that link from the beginning. Where I'm really worried about this is on the arms, because I got to go all the way down the shoulder girdle, arm, forearm, hand. That's a lot of components. That's a lot of fucking shit. And then on top of that, going in and adding them all together, like, so when I take it and I try to make a full body suit, I mean, I'm gonna have, so for example, I bring in the lumbar. The lumbar is gonna have brought in its torso and its pelvis, but then when I bring in the arm, it's also going to have the torso. So I'm going to have like 2 copies of the torso and 2 copies of the pelvis in there. And then same thing with the head. The head is going to be built off of the torso, so I'll have 3 copies of the torso in the final thing if I put it all together. I mean, it might get to the point where I literally can't even put the entire thing together because there'd be like 8 components in there. I literally might not even be able to do that. I don't know. I need to call someone up at Fusion 360 and tell them to fix this shit. Fix this shit you give me for free. What's wrong with you guys? I don't know. So I haven't really even started working yet. I'm still thinking about what I want to do and how I want to do it. Alright, I've got the support done for the lumbar, which means I'm done with the lumbar for draft 2. Let me show you guys real quick. If you look right here, those are the supports in there. So we are on lumbar support right there. So here you got, those will be silicon parts. They bolt in. They're just like a bolt hole right there. So if I look, here's the base piece, and you'll see there's like holes there. Doom, 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 like that. Right? So they're onto those will bolt on the support, and then they'll be cast in silicon like that, just like that. There we are with like the body on it right there. And that's kind of what we're looking at here. Oh, and then I didn't bother to redo them, but they would also be up here too. So there'd be 2 there, 2 there. Same on the other side, like that. Alright, I just took a shower because I was a little stanky. Now I'm going to go work on that poster I alluded to earlier and show you guys what I'm working on out there. Alright, so I'm making this poster right here. I used Mod Podge, which I love using for making like essentially like stickers out of just printed paper. I probably should have waited for it to like the glue to dry underneath before putting it on top, because there's a bunch of bubbles that formed. You can see like right there, gonna have to fill that in to make it look pretty again. But overall, it looks pretty good. Can you guess what I'm using it for? I'll go ahead and tell you. I'm gonna take this sign. I'm gonna 3D print a little clasp for it at the bottom. Then I'm gonna spray paint white, and it's gonna fit underneath. And then I'm gonna Well, actually, I might not do that now since I didn't do the back. I was going to do the back, but there's a pattern on the back. It's not solid white. Anyway, I'm going to take it and I'm going to hook it to the back of that other exoskeleton I made, that green and black one that's 3D printed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably have seen that video if you're watching this channel. Anyway, I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it on, I'm going to go down to 16th Street Mall, which is like one of the most popular spots in Denver. I'm not sure why, it's just a kind of an outdoor mall, but it's kind of shit, honestly. It's a nice part of Denver, but the mall kind of sucks. Anyway, I'm going to put it on there. I'm going to walk around. And I'm going to try to get more subscribers and more people interested in my YouTube channel. Because although I love the 38 of you that are subscribed right now, I need a few more if I'm going to make this successful. So the idea is to go out and try to build my name a little bit more. I'm going to do that this Saturday. I'm only do it for a couple hours. I'm not going to like put a huge amount of work into it because I think the most important thing for me to focus on is just building and making awesome shit. But this will help me get a little bit of traction, I think. So I'm going to go do that this weekend. That's the plan. I'm 3D printing holders for the stand because Iron Man's gonna make a good goddamn poster. I've begun the head. True story. Check it out. This right here is where I put the stuff on, and if you look this way, see how it's warped? This is the same thing that happens when you weld. This is what you have to keep in mind when you weld, is that when you put material down, as it cools, in this case it dried, but as it cools, it shrinks, and then it pools and causes, this is potato chipping. That's what that's called when you weld it.
Where the meat is just completely surrounding it.
Cash and Lilo. Cash and Lilo. These are well-trained dogs. They're not even on a leash. Look at them. Hello, Cash. Hello, Layla. Hello, Cash. Hello, Layla. Come here, puppies. Hi. 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 There you go. Hi. 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 Hello. Hello. Hi, Layla. Hi, Cash. Hi, Bailey.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Are you filming me?
I am, always. Remember how I said sometimes I'm smart and sometimes I'm really dumb? Well, you don't follow people on YouTube. You subscribe to them, so I'm going to redo that. Alright, there's a sign right there. That's confusing. Anyway, right there, there's a sign. That's going to go hook onto the back. It's not that strong right now. This part is like very wobbly, so I'm going to have to 3D print some more stuff to kind of come down here or something and make it a little stronger. But apparently, I didn't overdo it enough. More to do. It's late. I'm gonna go edit this video. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you're seeing this for the first time. I love you guys. Come back tomorrow. Peace.